A child grows up in the inner city, low income, welfare family. Both the parents are alcoholics. The father has been in prison twice. Basically, the child is left alone most of their childhood. And in fact, the parents rarely, if ever, come to any event, whether it's a play or a sporting event for the child. The child's left alone for almost all of their childhood. I was that child. That's why Cindy and I founded Friends of the Children and have been a big sponsor of the Classic Wine Auction. I was fortunate, similar to the programs that serve these children and families today, a few people came alongside of me and they cared for me and generated hope. It was a football coach, a fifth grade teacher, a counselor told me that I could be more than what most people expected to me. And at 12 years old, I decided that I was not going to be like my parents and that I never wanted another child to have the childhood that I had. And that's the reason why Cindy and I created Friends of the Children and have been a generous sponsor of the Classic Wine Auction.
Good evening. Duncan and I are so appreciative of the Classic Wines Auction and what it has meant to Friends of the Children over the years and for the other 5 benefiting charities that are represented here tonight and all of the children, women, and families that have been supported by these charities over the years. Tonight, you're going to hear from 5 incredible individuals that have been supported to overcome the cycle of poverty, homelessness, behavioral health challenges, and a lack of educational opportunities. They were helped when they needed it the most. They are resilient, they're strong, courageous, and today they're hopeful. They're hopeful for their futures. Because of these 5 charities, they've assisted in bringing this hope to their lives. But not just the charities, it's people like you who also make this happen for these individuals. We've all faced struggles and challenges in our own lives at one time or another. I know we all have. Let's help tonight by giving generously from our hearts when the paddle race starts or for the rest of the auction items. Give generously to help empower the rest of these individuals on the stage tonight and the thousands of others that may be impacted by your giving. Now let's hear from Tatiana.
I had just started high school. I was on the soccer team. My goals just really were to get involved with my community, but I had no idea how to do that. I was 14 when I got the internship. I was the youngest intern ever. I was taught skills that I would end up using throughout the rest of my high school experience and throughout the rest of my life. If they didn't have the program itself, I feel like a lot of these kids would just be at home doing nothing or at home, maybe not in a safe environment. I came back from a day that I had missed because I was sick. All the kids came and showered me with hugs and told me how much they had missed me, even if it was just a day. And I realized that my presence there was making an impact on them. Right now, I feel confident, I feel like a leader, I feel empowered.
Pretty soon, I will be graduating high school with the class of 2020. I have reached a very exciting yet terrifying point in my life. Currently, My life as a high school senior has been surrounded by college applications, scholarship opportunities, campus visits, etc. Senior year also means saying goodbye. I'll be saying goodbye to my high school soccer team, to Friday night football games, to many of my friends, to my family, and to the community I've grown to love in all aspects. I never would have guessed that I would use the leadership skills I learned while interning with MFS throughout the rest of my high school years and probably the rest of my life. MFS believed in me, and I knew that I was capable, which led to giving me a sense of confidence. When it came to applying to colleges, I had the skills, experiences, and even past mentors, like Amanda Hart, willing to write me letters of recommendation. MFS gave me an opportunity, and I took it and built myself into the leader I am today. Because I'm the first in my family to go to college here in the US, I have had to teach myself and my family how to get there. Life is full of setbacks and barriers, but I learned how to work harder to overcome them in order to get to where I want to be. I agreed to share my story even though I was scared, because I know that scary things, they expand my knowledge and capability. When you push yourself to be better, you often surprise yourself with how much you're capable of. College is my next step. I plan on being a business major to become the best version of myself, and I can't wait.
My earliest rememberings of me working with mental health was me being called into the guidance counselor's office in second grade. In second grade, I wanted to die. It was definitely a long journey since then of understanding what that meant and feeling useless and worthless. After high school, I was in college, and at this time I started hearing a voice. It was hard to tell someone because there was the fear that I was going to go to the hospital or that they were going to lock me up. There was a point when I was in my house. I didn't leave the house for 3 to 4 months at all. They did not leave the house at all. I checked in voluntarily to a hospital. They told me that I needed to find a nice easy chair and find TV shows that I will enjoy, because the best thing that I can do is cope. The best thing that I was going to be able to do with my life because of my diagnosis and my story was that I can only cope with my life. Wouldn't have a meaningful job, wouldn't be able to go to school again. I could just deal. After the ups and downs of my 30 years of life, I was introduced to Unity. Unity changed my life.
I knew in my heart I needed to give back. I heard from a friend about a new program opening up, an innovative approach, a place that was called Unity Center for Behavioral Health. I got a job as a peer support specialist. I worked at Unity where I could use my lived experience to support others. I wasn't asked to clean. I wasn't asked to convince someone to do something they didn't want to do. I was treated as an equal. My role was bringing the person's voice and choice to the table. This changed my life. I realized I have new dreams and goals that were different now that Unity was leading the way. I'm now working my way through school to become a psychiatrist. I once told by mental health professionals that I would never get better, that I shouldn't expect more in my life. I am now on a team with mental health professionals, and we see a role for people with lived experience and mental health professionals combined. I have a career, a dream, a loving partner. I have never been more happy or healthier. Thank you.
My story started about 10 years ago. Our apartment building caught fire. We had nothing. We lost almost everything in that fire. And then I was thrust in after a really bad fallout into the foster care system. And it's a really challenging transition at 16 to be thrust into essentially a new life. My first going in to the YWCA was to try to find help. While that was going on and they were supporting me, I ended up leaving the Y because I gave up. I did end up dropping out of high school. I really just started to believe that the odds were gonna be stacked against me forever. So I came back to the YWCA to access a different service. And by the end of it, I had not only gotten help with that, but I had gotten reestablished with this ever-loving, supportive program that they were just opening their arms to be like, we still got you. We still believe in you. I hadn't gone back to the Y to ask for help, and I wasn't like encompassed in like this warm hug, I can tell you I would probably be dead. Good evening. I want to share with you all that I have accomplished from that point in my life to where I am presently. While at Clark College, I became a member of Phi Theta Kappa. I spoke at my 2015 commencement ceremony and then went on to walk across the stage after successfully completing my high school diploma. A few years later, I graduated from Clark College with my associate's degree, and then I started my journey of becoming a student at Washington State University. Presently, I am a senior at WSUV, and I had the privilege of becoming an intern at the YWCA in their sexual assault program this spring. My journey in life has really come full circle, and my goals for the future include graduating with my bachelor's degree in human development, and after graduating, I look forward to finding a career in the human services field to better help our communities, with the ultimate goal of trying to restore a bit of humanity with those I work with every day. And I am grateful for the opportunity to be up here this evening sharing my story with all of you, because without you, we cannot continue to be successful.
My name is Victor. I'm 12 years old. My mentor's name is Joey, or Joe.
From the moment I picked up Victor, I bonded with him so quickly, and I just knew we were going to get along.
We get to hang out and just talk a lot about like things, and just have fun. I had some problems with the school, and Joe helped me out to figure some things out with that. He has just a big heart, and even if we're feeling like in a bad mood, he always tries to make it better by like bugging us, and it's just funny. I love animals, and one of my goals were to become a father.
It's not that he wanted to be a dad right away. He didn't want to be an 11-year-old dad. Well, he wanted to think about, being a dad is a commitment that takes a long time. I wanted to support that as a realistic goal. So we wanted to find something that we could do to access that responsibility and that drive, the need to make some money. So we adopted a guinea pig.
Adopt a guinea pig and returning cans to get the money to buy the stuff for my guinea pig. My guinea pig's name is Vanilla. He has like white and kind of light brownish.
I think the value of youth having access to mentorship is just that every young person deserves to be cared for, and they deserve to feel safe and comfortable and capable.
I'm gonna be in Friends of the Children until I graduate high school. I do think this is the start of something way, way bigger. Yay! or hug there.
This year, I earned a scholarship to attend St. Andrew Nativity School.
This is my first year in private school, and I worked very hard to get in. In the future, I hope to go to a school like De La Salle or Jesuit, but I will know that it will take even more hard work and the support of my community to make it happen. I'm here tonight, and you are a part of my community, so we can make my dream happen together. Someday, I want to use my education to open a shelter for animals, become a scientist, or an actor. In addition to being a great dad, I know I can make any of these dreams happen because of the support I get from Joey and Friends of the Children.
My hope tonight is that you can see the incredible fire that Victor has. He's passionate about justice, dedicated to his community and his school, and he's interested in talking about his future goals. His heart for animals is inspiring. It's matched by the love that he has for his family. I love working for Friends of the Children because for the last 3 years, I've gotten to see him grow up every single week, a little bit at a time. Whether we're volunteering at a domestic violence shelter or buying guinea pig supplies or learning how to cook, Victor brings genuine passion and curiosity to each experience that he has in our program. I'm confident that he will bring that same kind of passion and curiosity to whatever path he takes in life, and I can't wait to see what he does with it. Gracias por su parte de nuestra comunidad, por los amigos, para los niños.
Joey just said, thank you for being a part of our Friends of the Children community.
Gracias.
Gracias.
My father died when I was 11 months old in a house fire, and my mother had experimented with drugs and alcohol. She became an addict, and so she was physically and verbally abusive to my siblings and I, and were taken away and placed into the Oregon Department of Human Services. It felt like a relief when we were removed because I remember being a child and I used to pray to God even to just take me up to heaven. My DHS caseworker went out of their way to hook me up with New Avenues for Youth, and that was the first time that I was empowered. I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, and our relationship was already toxic. My son was born 2.5 months early on Christmas Eve of 2015. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, and that was the worst form of depression I've ever experienced in my life. Basically, this was the lowest point of my life, like ever. Even from being abused from my mother, this was the lowest point of my life. I was homeless with a newborn baby. I knew that I could only stay with my family for so long, and I decided to call New Avenues for Youth to see if they had any resources. Making the call to New Avenues for Youth was what saved me. Shortly after contacting New Avenues for Youth in May of 2016, my son and I moved into their transitional housing program. While living there, I worked especially close with a parent advocate and housing navigator, who in November of that year assisted me in securing the keys to my first apartment. I re-enrolled at PSU in the fall of 2016, and in March of 2019, I received my BS in psychology with a minor in sociology. Thank you. Thank you. Since leaving their housing program, my New Avenues case manager and other housing staff have remained consistent in my life. With the presence of their unwavering devotion, I placed myself in intensive therapy where I evicted my temporary tenant postpartum depression. I have maintained stable housing for over 3 years. Thank you. I have maintained stable housing for over 3 years, and I have been working full-time for over a year, serving youth in Portland at another nonprofit. Thank you. I intend on remaining in my role as a human service agent until my last breath. I feel that wounded healers are unique individuals who give meaning to community, and this was the position that the universe chose for me. In this moment, I am here. I am here taking care of myself. I am here as a mother to a 4-year-old little boy who looks to me and says, "Mommy, I happy. You happy too?" The outcome of manifesting happiness around my son has spilled over to his social and emotional development as he navigates his own life as a thriving preschooler. I am here as a peer to lead the way for the disadvantaged youth after me, and I am here as a testimony that organizations like New Avenues for Youth set the standard for what youth care should look like. I believe I was born with grit, but it was the introduction of New Avenues for Youth into my life that has helped to keep my fire burning.
Let's give a huge hand for our inspiring presenters. Everyone up. Show them the love they deserve and they've earned.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
Really
What powerful stories. Gets you in the heart. Thank you so much. You're all great.